Good evening. I'm still reporting on the coup. Everyone keeps asking who is behind Biden. He's obviously not capable of making independent decisions on his own. Well, of course, that's Obama's admitted fantasy, to sit at home and tell others what to do. But Mr. O needs intermediaries still in government to carry out the heavy lifting of destroying the United States. And yesterday they basically announced themselves. Attorney General Merrick Garland, Secretary of Homeland Security Mayorkas, and FBI Director Christopher Wray.
Attorney General Merrick Garland is holding a news conference to announce war crime charges stemming from the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Let's dip in.
On February 24th, 2022, Russia commenced its full-scale, unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. In the nearly 2 years since, we have all seen invading Russian forces commit atrocities on the largest scale in any European armed conflict since the Second World War. We have all heard the accounts of Ukrainian civilians targeted and executed, Ukrainian children forcibly deported, and Ukrainian women and girls sexually assaulted. And as the world has witnessed the horrors of Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine, so has the United States Department of Justice. That is why the Justice Department has filed the first ever charges under the U.S. War Crimes Statute against 4 Russia-affiliated military personnel for heinous crimes against an American citizen. Congress passed the U.S. War Crimes Statute nearly 30 years ago to give us jurisdiction to prosecute war crimes committed against American citizens abroad. In an indictment returned yesterday in the Eastern District of Virginia, we have charged 4 Russia-affiliated military personnel with war crimes against an American citizen living in Ukraine. The charges include conspiracy to commit war crimes, including war crimes outlawed by the international community after World War II, unlawful confinement, torture, and inhuman treatment.
Oh, doesn't this sound like the same treatment given to many more of the J6 prisoners? Let's remember that there have been 950 Americans arrested and charged for a variety of crimes in regards to the January 6th demonstration. Most of the violence of which was probably instigated by informants working for a variety of U.S. intelligence agencies, including the FBI. Will we ever see charges brought against them? Not very likely, and desperately trying to change that subject is the root cause of the following diversion.
We allege that in April of 2022, 2 commanding officers of Russia-affiliated forces, Suren Zuranovich Mukherjian and Dmitry Budnik, as well as 2 lower-ranking soldiers whose first names are Valery and Nazar, committed war crimes against an American citizen who had been living in Russia since 2021. The victim was living in Milovy, a small village in southern Ukraine, and was not participating in the armed conflict between Russia and Ukraine. As such, the victim was what is known as a protected person under international law. After Russian forces invaded Milovy, the victim was abducted from his home by 3 of the defendants, Mukherjian, who was one of the commanding officers, and Valery and Nazar, the lower-ranking soldiers, and their co-conspirators. During the abduction, we allege that those defendants threw the victim to the ground while he was naked, tied his hands behind his back, pointed a gun at his head, and beat him with their feet, their fists, and the stocks of their guns.
Let me summarize the allegations. Mostly more of the same. They beat him up time and time again. Yes, this is horrible. However, it pales to the treatment the Israelis got about 1 month ago.
These charges against 4 Russia-affiliated military personnel are the Justice Department's first criminal charges under the U.S. War Crimes Statute. They are also an important step toward accountability for the Russian regime's illegal war in Ukraine. Throughout our work, we will continue to put our trust in the rule of law. The rule of law is the best answer we have to crimes that cannot be truly answered. The rule of law is how we pursue true accountability for the individuals responsible for those crimes.
The rule of law is it, General Garland? When President Trump returns to the White House, you three may have some personal accountability to admit to.
This history should make clear that the Justice Department and the American people have a long memory. We will not forget the atrocities in Ukraine, and we will never stop working to bring those responsible to justice.
Mr. Attorney General, I just don't know what to say about that. Do you think that the rest of America is going to be deceived by this distraction?
Throughout our work, we will continue to put our trust in the rule of law. The rule of law is the best answer we have to crimes that cannot be truly answered. The rule of law is how we pursue true accountability for the individuals responsible for those crimes and how we deter future aggression. And the rule of law is how we pursue justice in a way that protects people and protects our shared humanity. I'm now honored to turn the podium over to Secretary Mayorkas.
I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of world freedom. Good day.